We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast for the Top Gun Sales Boot Camp training. And, ooh, baby cakes. Like, wow. Nora, isn't it crazy on how, like, the flywheel is happening where things picking up?
Yeah,
How you keeping up with it all, girl?
I'm not.
Okay, nice. So Nora asked a really, this is like Nora and I are really connected, you know, for many reasons. One of those reasons is because of our personalities. So our personalities are going to be very similar. So I'm a driver analytic driver. She's a double analytic. So at times she's going to be a lot more, you know, analytic than I am. Not as much driver as I am, and she's got more expressive than I do, a lot more expressive than I do. So quite a bit more expressive than I am. That's what makes her this magical salesperson because she's got this driver expressive in her. But the analytic creates her a lot. The double analytic creates a lot of stress. So she asked, which I've known Tom Coons for over 20 years, and I've never gotten a really clear answer from him. At least I haven't heard the answer. What happens when, Tom says, trust the integrity of the system? And Nora asked, I don't know, a week or so ago, what if what if the system doesn't have integrity? Like, what if it lacks integrity? Right? That's what I've been asking for 20 years. Like, um, anybody have any questions on that or thoughts?
So how do you know if the system has integrity or not?
How do you know if a human being has integrity?
By their actions, maybe?
Okay. They say what they mean what they do what they say what they do. So yeah, everything's in alignment. So could that same principle apply to the system? It can.
Who's responsible or if the system doesn't have integrity?
What's that?
Whose responsibility is it if the system doesn't have integrity?
Did you not learn anything from San Antonio?
Everything's Mark's fault.
Okay, so Luke learned. How did Luke learn something from San Antonio? He wasn't even there. Like he wasn't even there. Like that. Dang, that's good. Okay, copy that. So then what's your next question? Nora, plug your ears.
How does Mark fix it?
No, the next question is what if Mark dies? Well, what not if what Mark dies? Mark's going to die eventually. So, what about when Mark dies? Or what if Mark goes ahead and decides to become a police? Or now you can open your ears, Nora. So, what if Mark decides to go and become a pilot? Or what if Mark decides to become a police officer? Like, what if he decides to do those things? Like, who's gonna go ahead and do it? So what people don't understand is like everything's Mark's fault because Mark just takes ownership because somebody's got to take ownership. So Marx has control. People, if we don't take ownership, we don't have control. We give up control. We give up control to other people. So the driver, you know, people think the driver is a control freak. I'm not. Like, yes, people get hurt. There's a ton of conflict if things are out of control. The amiable is the most of all of the personalities. They're the ones that are the biggest control freaks of anybody, and they suck at it. Sorry, amiables. It's not anything personal. I'm just telling you, you're not good at it. None of the other three personalities are good at it. The analytic, they're like, well, it's somebody else's fault because I have enough details to go and point out it's somebody else's fault. The amiables, it's like, Well, if it's my fault, then I'm the one that creates the conflict. You think? The expressive, it's like, I don't know. I kind of like when things blow up. Okay. I love when things get out of control. All right. Like the driver is going to be the best at taking ownership because they hate when things get out of control. Why? Because people get hurt. Like the driver is the most misunderstood of all four personalities. They just are. People think they don't care. They're the ones that care the most. They just learn to roll their eyes at people. So, um, well, so Mark, how do you get other people to see the future? So Luke jumps on the previous one and he's got an idea. He's got an idea. It's a great idea. He's actually listening to me, and so that's awesome. That's like, wow, he's listening to me. I got to be careful what I say to him. But how do you help people see the future? Like, have you seen this in the future? And so learning to, like, you develop your skills. Like you guys, all of you wish you would have known me before I was like before I was 18 years old, I was a very different person. Really, Mark. Uh-huh. What were you like? I was an amiable. No. Yeah. Really? Uh-huh. What happened? I got married. And my wife was an amiable, double amiable. So I had to switch over into a driver. Now I test out driver analytic driver. But yeah, I had this super soft heart to it. I mean, my mom, she gave me the secret to women when this is important. Like, this is why you don't miss any of you just don't. You're like, there's so many. Like, if you're thinking, there's so many training podcasts, like, oh, I'm going to cheat the system. No, don't cheat the system. So when I was 9 years old, my mom gave me the secret to women. The secret to women is not just the secret to women, guys. It's a secret to customer service. It's the secret to business. It's a secret. It's unbelievable. So I don't know. At 9 years old, I realized that my mom did a lot for me. She cooked, she cleaned, she went ahead and she did all this stuff for me. She's a great mom. She's doing all this stuff for me. I'm like, wow. And I made an observation that she liked sour cream and onion potato chips. I don't know. I don't remember when. I just noticed, oh, she likes sour cream and onion potato chips. Okay. And my dad was a pastor and they had, 6 kids. And so he didn't make much money. So super, super frugal people. Like they would never go out and splurge on sour cream and onion potato chips. I mean, I don't know where we had somebody's house probably. And my mom, had a chip, sour cream, and she's like, wow, this tastes good. And I look at her and said, oh, she likes sour cream and onion potato chips. So one day on the way home, like I'm an industrious, 9-year-old, I have paper routes. I sell things and stuff like that. And so I have my own money and I go ahead and on the way home, there's a convenience store right on the corner. And I stop by and I get her a bag of sour cream and onion potato chips. And then I walk home and 9 years old again. Think of a 9-year-old. Think of when you were 9 years old. Think of a 9-year-old that you have. And so, so I went ahead and gave my mom sour cream and onion potato chips. I paid for myself. I saw it. She didn't ask for it. I just went ahead and gave her sour cream and onion potato chips. I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly. I don't need a star. I don't need a hug. I don't need anything. Like this is just what 9-year-old boys do to their moms. They just do. They just do. Like I just thought every 9-year-old boy did this. Like they're sensitive to their mom. It's a smart thing. It's not because I was like if your mom, like be nice to your mom. Is this really complicated? It is actually now. Now I realize, like really, boys. So I give it to her. What does she do? She starts to cry. I'm like, what? First thing I thought, 9-year-old boy. I'm like, boy, women are weird. Now, it was a kind of cry. It's not, it's like she's moved. Like I move a 9-year-old boy. Here's this grown woman, my mom, and I move her to tears. Like I just move her to tears. Like, and I'm like looking at her, and then she kneels down. And she's got tears in her eyes, and she kneels down and she's looking into my eyes and she says, Mark, honey. I says, yeah, Mom. She says, you are going to make some woman the most luckiest woman in the world. Oh, I was interested in girls at 9. Oh, okay, I'm listening, Mom. Copy that. She says, because you're so sensitive to women. And I'm like, dang, women are not that complicated. They're just not. They're not that complicated, for crying out loud. Like, what do they like? Like, you pay attention to what do they like. And then you're sensitive. You do special things for them. And I could tell you how crazy the special things are. Like, there's so many things over 41 years of marriage. There's so many things like at 9. And so I remember thinking, women are not that complicated. This helped me in business. Like, and I don't think I'm some super husband or, super smart or sensitive. Like my mom, she manipulated me and I manipulated her, made her cry. She loved me. I loved her. She gave me things. I gave her things. Like, she was a really cool mom. Miss her like crazy. But that's how you treat customers. Like, you can just see it with Nora. Like, she stops by and she gets some donuts. Like, who does that? Women do that. I don't do that. I mean, I did do that when I was in sales. And when I couldn't figure out how to be sensitive, like Fran Perrin, she was a realtor, very high producing realtor. And I'm 24, 24 years old, 25 years old. And I'm like, okay, she's giving me referrals. I want to give her a gift. I don't know. She's probably 60 years old. I'm 24. I don't know what to get a 60-year-old woman. So what do? I go to Wendy Kuzniar. She's my age. She's probably 24 and she's a processor, And so again, I didn't have any authority over Wendy. I'm in sales. She's in operations. I bring in loans and she takes care of loans. So I probably ought to be really nice to her because she's taking care. It's like with a waitress, or a waiter, be nice to them or they'll spit in your soup. I don't know. This is, I don't like, I have social autism and I understand this kind of stuff. Like, really? And so, with Wendy, I said, and I don't know, I just, she and I connected, she liked me and I liked her. Like, I don't know, it was just fun to work with her. She was just cute and bubbly, and she and I, it was really cool. And I noticed that she likes to shop. Well, good, because I don't like to shop. So I'm like, hey, Wendy. And again, I'm a peer. Like, I don't have any authority. I'm like, hey, I don't know. I don't like to shop. I've got this lady. Who is she? What's she like? This. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, what's the budget? I give her the budget. She goes out and she buys like these leather gloves and this silk scarf. I would have never bought, never bought that. So I'm 24 years old and I'm like, so I can go ahead and she does something she loves doing, shopping. I don't love doing it. I'm not good at it. And I get something, I give her something. But I never take her for granted. I don't just say, hey, she's not my personal assistant. Like, you don't take people for granted. You're thankful and grateful and everything for them. And so I give this gift to Fran Barron. What does she do? She's a realtor with she's in an office of, I don't know, 50 other realtors. Most of them are women, most of them are her age. So she goes ahead and she goes ahead and shares that I gave her the gift, and all these women are now, here's this 24-year-old. This guy is so cute. I'm fine. like Ginger Ann, like, and he's got this cute little baby daughter. Like, let's give him some business. I got no pride. Give me business anyway, for whatever reason it is. Like, this is not brain surgery, but it is for most people. So, what do people like? What do people want? And then, how do you be sensitive to people? Like Luke had it before he was 18, but at 18, I was lost. I mean, first time I met Luke, he said, I used to be sensitive to women. I'm like, what? Like, you're 18 years old. Like this is not going to do. You're not. And he's been, in the last 2 years that I've known him, he's become more sensitive to women. Women are saying good things. Like before, they kind of laugh. Like, yeah, Luke's a bit clunky. But now, if you're a young lady, I'd go ahead and take a look at Luke. Like he's going to, why? Because he's going to grow. Like as long as he doesn't ever stop growing, he's going to make an amazing husband, an amazing dad. As long as he never forgets from 18 to 20, you have to grow. You have to grow. So in this, in the Top Gun, like what we're doing here in Top Gun is more, it's more than sales, it's life. So DNA for Life, there's over 500 natural laws. Like if I gave you guys a new one every single day, that would be, 100 weeks. Like over 2 years, if I gave you a new one there's over 500 of these natural laws that I'm giving you guys. Like this stuff will make you like most amazing husband and father in the world. It'll make you a wife that, my gracious, every man on the planet's going to just be envious of your husband. It's like, how did he get a wife like that? Because she's a 12-cow woman. I don't know if I've shared that story. A great story for another time. Like these stories, like Tom Coon says, Mark, do you know why you need me on, podcasts? I'm like, Tom, I'm thinking there's a lot of reasons why I need you. What are you thinking? He says, it's my stories. I'm like, right. He's got the coolest stories. But Tom went ahead and said, like I've known him since I was 40, 42. So it's been around 20 years. And Tom said to me a few years ago, he's like, Mark, he just laughs. He's like, Mark, you have this photographic auditory memory. My son-in-law, he says I don't. Like he mocks me. Really? So why would you do that? Anyways, Tom says, I said, what do you mean? He's like, I tell you a story, Mark, and 7 years later you bring it up. I say it once and you just bring it up. Why? Because I think Tom's stories have significance to me. They're life-changing. Like when Tom was a teenager, he's 15 years old, and his grandfather comes up and gives him some advice. But before he gives him some advice, he says to Tom, he says, Tom, like think of yourself as a grandfather and think of yourself as a 15-year-old. And he comes up to Tom and he says, Tom, what I'm about to tell you is not going to have much meaning to you now. All I ask is that you write it down because it will have significant meaning to you in the future. 15 years old.
What did he say?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is that he knew Tom, he knew a 15-year-old boy. He wanted to have, but you could ask Tom that question. I don't know if he remembers what he said. That's not the point, isn't what he said. The point is that his grandfather knew a 15-year-old boy, and he knew that he wasn't going to pay attention. So he said, write it down. And he knew it wasn't going to have meaning right now. He knew it wasn't going to have meaning right now, but it would in the future. He had to write it down. And so David Logan, Tom and I were in Nashville. This was probably 15 years ago, 18 years ago. So we're in Nashville and we're doing events. And David Logan, and he went ahead and flew on Larry Ellison's private plane. Larry Ellison's a billionaire, founder of Oracle, one of the wealthiest men in the world. And anyways, so David Logan goes ahead and he's a broker owner, real estate. So he trains realtors in sales. And I'll never forget, David goes ahead and says to me, he says, Mark, he's like, what I do is I train realtor salespeople. I train realtors. I train them in what they need to do. I'm like, okay. And he says, then I throw them out in the field. I'm like, okay. And then he says, they come back and I retrain them. I'm like, you got to be kidding. Like, that's insane. And I'm like, that's for freaking genius. Like, how does he know that? Like, how did he know that? And then it's stupid too. Why do people not pay attention the first time going through training? So what it is, he trains them, but they're not paying attention to what they need to pay attention. Like all of you, you guys aren't paying attention. You don't understand. You don't understand. And it's okay, but it's not. And so how do you pay attention more to what I'm saying? Like, this is why the higher ends of Top Gun, the higher ends, so there's different levels, right, that you pay for the Top Gun program. And so, Ralph from Australia, he said, people who pay attention. People who pay a lot of attention. So it might be time to bump up what you're paying for the Top Gun to a higher level, because the more you pay attention. So if you invest, I don't know, $500 a month into Top Gun, you will go ahead and make 5 times as much or more than if you invest $100 into it. 5,000, same thing, 10 times more. The more we invest, the more we pay attention. We just do. So there's so much today that my mind is just, I want to get into the internalization. Like, I want to get into internalization and like all of these. There's over 500 natural laws. These are the best of the best. These are the ones that I use all the time. I mean, these are embedded into my very DNA. Everything, who I am, how I think, everything is just, it's crazy. Nora, what you got today?
My numbers for yesterday were 52%.
Go, girl. So now what she has consistency. Was it hard to do 2 days in a row like that?
I think it was hard, but in a different way that you'd think.
Right. I mean, not that I'd think, but somebody would think, right?
Right.
Right. So life happens, stuff hits the fan. And so, it just does. Man, this is a strange session. Strange session. Nice. Good work, Nora. Becky, what you got?
Yesterday was 8%. I went back down.
So Becky's got 4 sons. And so it's not an excuse. It's not. It's just, this is reality. It makes it harder for her. It makes it a lot harder for her. So she's got more adversity. She's got more friction. Like an airplane, when it gets closer to the atmosphere, the higher you go, the more gravitational pull there is against the airplane. You're like, are you a pilot, Mark? How do you know these things? I don't know how I'm not a pilot. So it's the gravitational pull. So right before you break through the atmosphere, that's where the gravitational pull is the highest. Once you break through to the next dimension, all of a sudden, then there's not the gravity. It's like, whoa, what just happened here? And the same thing is true in life. And so there's tremendous gravitational pull in sales before you hit 100,000. Then after you hit 100,000, you're like, it's not that hard. Like they say, the first million is the hardest to earn. So then the next dimension is going to be 250. And then the next dimension is 500,000. Then the next dimension is 1,000,000. Then it's 2.5 million, 5 million, 10 million, 25 million. It's what it is. And what's the difference between making 250,000 and making 100,000? It's how we think. Nice, nice. Kenny, what you got?
Yesterday, I had another guy talk to me about, he's just in this stage where, he doesn't have any work until once spring hits, once the weather changes.
Yep.
And looking for work.
Yep.
And we don't have that amount of work to where we are able to, keep other people busy other than our key people. So and I usually tell those people, hey, I'll keep you in mind if we have something that comes up, something that changes, and I'll give you a call.
So is there a question there?
Would there be a better way to handle that? Or
Yeah, I would go ahead and, so I would do profitable partnerships. So there's a profitable partnership course that I taught a number of years ago. And so, you know how to fix that for him, but he's going to need to go ahead. Should he participate in the, sales boot camp? I don't know, maybe. Should he go ahead and, participate once a week and, the coffee connection once a month, the live event, and then once a week, should he, participate with you and Luke in a virtual one for 30 minutes? Yeah, without question. So you help him, and he'll help you. You grow his business, he'll help you grow your business. You might say, if you're cynical about people like me, you have experience, and you're like, that doesn't happen. Actually, it does, but you have to build integrity in the system. Like, I'm going to help you, but you're going to help me back. Like, that's just how it works. Like, this is how it works. I'm not your mom. And my mom wasn't like that. She was a tough lady, loved her. Like, she taught, like, you go ahead and be fair with people, and you go ahead and have integrity, and you go, like, she was an amazing woman. She was a really good mom. So yeah, you get them involved in what you're doing, Kenny. Because if they're growing, if they have business, that's going to grow your business. Your business is going to grow their business. And as their business grows, your business grows. As your business grows, their business grows. When the tide rises, all the ships rise together. So the 530 grid, yeah, it's for growing your business. Yes, that's true. So customers, yes, but it's also for growing your employees. Yes, it's for doing that too. And it's for growing referral partners too. It's all of those things.
Yeah.
Nice. Luke, what you got?
So yesterday I did 60%.
Nice.
We are coming up with a new marketing piece. How do we determine whose phone number goes on that marketing piece with multiple people in sales?
Yeah, good question. So what you have here is you have identified targets, you have develop and deliver a message, and then you have track 100% of leads. So this is marketing, pre-sales, and then it goes down into the sales. So typically you have box 3 is the air traffic controller. So who gets the lead? Now in that particular piece, if you come up with the idea and you do it, your name might go on it. Or it might be Kenny's name. It could be one person all the time, or you could have others. So you're looking at it. So that air traffic controller, if they're a producing sales manager, let's say, they're going to go ahead and take some of the leads and dish some of the leads. So they're the ones that, and so they have to be really fair. But they're probably going to take more of the leads than other people. Maybe the whole purpose is to close the leads. Who's in the best position to close the leads? The more experienced people will close the leads better. And so, there's not one answer to that. It could be you or Kenny's name on it. You guys decide. It could be one person always getting it. You could go ahead and get a phone where it always goes to that phone, and then you just give that phone. That's a lead phone that could go. You guys could dish it between. You have what they had in the mortgage industry is we had marketing where it generated leads, and we had desk time. So we had desk time where people would go ahead and come in, and I would assign it as the vice president of sales, marketing manager. I would go ahead and assign and say, here's your desk time. So you have to be in and covering, for 4 hours or 2 hours. So if there are any leads that come in during desk time, you get those leads. So we had that. Now the experienced people didn't want it because they wanted to go outside. We had a system for developing referral partners. So your referral leads are going to be better, more profitable, stronger, everything. And so new salespeople would go ahead and typically get the leads coming in. And that turned into business, but not as good as business as referral business.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something good to go ahead and talk. So your marketing machine is not just like we do LinkedIn, and a lot of those leads, not the best leads in the world, haven't converted a lot of them into x-rays, but those have not turned into Action Vision sales. But boy, were they great at training Nora on how to do 30-minute strategy sessions and training Nora on how to go ahead and do business x-rays. So they still served a purpose, even though they didn't bring in the big sales yet. But we're improving the system on that. Does that make sense, Luke?
Yes.
All right, you guys are awesome. This program is ever increasing, getting more and more powerful in what it's doing. So always remember we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.